Welcome back to Pro Football Addiction. What in the world is going on in Jacksonville right now? One of the first rules of crisis management is to not delay until tomorrow what needs to be done today. The Jacksonville Jaguars, true to form as one of the NFL's most poorly run franchises, delayed until yesterday what needed to be done weeks ago, if not maybe years ago. The Jags finally fired Trent Baalke after going 25-43 in 4 seasons under the GM's guidance. It's the latest blunder under the ownership of Shad Khan. Yes, it was the right move. The franchise generally drafted well on its early picks under Baalke, but was a mess with free agent acquisitions, despite the franchise's willingness to pay up. And they consistently misjudged the market. Baalke failed to capitalize on one of the most valuable assets in all of sports, a good quarterback, on a rookie contract. And the Jags ultimately produced just 2 Pro Bowlers in his tenure. Now, Jags fans rejoiced at the news like the Munchkinlanders celebrating the death of the Wicked Witch of the East. But here's the issue. It was too little, too late. The Jags' top 2 options at head coach were Detroit offensive coordinator Ben Johnson and Bucs OC Liam Cohen. As a Tampa native, I'm thankful that the second one didn't work out, but 2 of the top young offensive minds in the NFL to help build around Trevor Lawrence. Johnson took the Bears' head coach job, and Cohen decided to return to Tampa Bay, turning down an NFL head coaching job. Detroit defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn went on to be with the Jets. Within hours of the Cohen news, the Jags announced that they were dismissing Baalke, also known as firing him. Was this a coincidence? No, not at all. Baalke was slow to re-interview head coach candidates, and he also had a reputation of working poorly with head coaches back to his days as the 49ers' general manager during a power struggle with Jim Harbaugh. The Jags swinging and missing on this process was all too predictable. Now, this sort of screw-up felt inevitable as soon as owner Shad Khan announced the decision to fire Doug Peterson earlier this month, but retain Baalke. Coaches around the league don't seem to care for Baalke, and his track record in Jacksonville was poor after 4 seasons. Plenty of time enough to judge a GM. It somehow seems even worse that the Jags made the right move to part ways with Baalke this late in the process. 2 of your top 3 coaching candidates are now off the market, and we'll see what happens with Cohen still. But the Senior Bowl starts next week, and your new GM will have to rush to assemble his staff. It seems unlikely that he'll have a say in the new coaching hire. It is just a complete mess, and this trickles up to Khan. When a franchise is consistently bad under different management and coaching, you have to look at the top of the organization. And Khan has been criticized by fans for being silent during times of crisis. He said before the season that this was the best roster the Jags ever assembled, and the team just went 4-13. He handed the franchise over to Urban Meyer, and we probably don't even need to go into that debacle. The Jags screwed up, and there's no other way to put it. And unfortunately for Jaguars fans, that is the norm under Khan's leadership. I don't know if Jags fans are reaching to pull out their clown masks again to go to the games this upcoming season in protest, but I do wonder if things will ever change with him leading the ship. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, Jags fans, fans of other teams, fans of the NFL. Love to hear what you think. We'll continue to cover this. We'll talk about any hires and when hires are made for Jacksonville. But a frustrating time to be a Jags fan because it does not seem like it's getting any better under Shad's leadership. Appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in to Pro Football Addiction.